So today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where North America unites under one country. Continuing on with the Continent United series, we are now on our third continent. We have already done Europe and Asia. Those videos did incredibly well and you guys said you want to see more. So now we're going to go across the pond and do North America. And in the next video, we'll most likely do Africa or South America. And I think we'll probably end up finishing off with Oceania. But here I have the entire North American continent all under one country. And yes, Greenland is a part of North America. I don't care what anyone says. It is a part of North America because it lies on the North American plate. I know it's owned by Denmark, but just geographically it's North American. I will fight you in the comments, except I won't. All of this, one country. Is this part of North America? I don't know. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are getting close-ish to 100,000 subscribers. Our next big goal is 70k, and from there 80, and then 90k, and then 100k. One of the biggest milestones we will ever hit. If you want to help us get there, make sure to subscribe. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with this video. Now, this North American country consists of, well, 28-ish different countries. I'm not sure how many countries are actually in North America, and I don't really care to Google it. So this includes the three big ones: Canada, the US, and Mexico, followed by all of Central America, and then all of these Caribbean islands. The main language here is probably Spanish, followed by English and then French. This is the strongest economy in the world because the United States is within it, and really it's just the United States is going to be carrying this continent. Russia probably still holds the #1 largest country in the world, but North America would be close behind, if not maybe the same or more because of Greenland being included. Military wise, obviously the strongest. And yeah, so what would North America do as a country? First of all, the United States and Canada would find some kind of way to put themselves over top of everyone else. I think that's probably just a given thing that they would try to do. And then we would have the development process of a lot of Central America, Mexico, and the Caribbean, as these areas such as Haiti are really underdeveloped and are in poverty. Assuming that this union can help fix that problem, we would have those countries doing a lot better, and overall the well, I guess the well-being of this country would be better off. When it first unites, it would be rough and it would be kind of a struggle, but eventually I do think that everything would be under control. And once that happens, I don't think North America would actually do anything. Unlike Asia, who went militaristic and tried to take over the world, or Europe, who did some imperial stuff, I don't think North America would have any intention of expanding. Given that this channel is geopolitical and all about war scenarios, so we're going to be having them do that in this video. However, in real life, I really don't think they would do anything, and I think it would probably be a fairly good country. But yeah, unfortunately in this timeline, North America gets a dictator, a militaristic one at that. And they decide it's time to spread some freedom. That might be the American part of it speaking, but they want to do some stuff down here. And stuff down here they're going to do with Venezuela looking very, very takeable. It's time to manifest some destiny, as the North American country has just declared war on Venezuela in order to bring freedom to it, or get oil. But using Trinidad, they managed to make a landing spot in northern Venezuela, and from here multiple landings are made across Venezuela. Venezuela quickly gains the support of Russia and China, but they're a little slow as North America is already right next to Venezuela. Capital of Venezuela falls fairly quickly, and Colombia and Brazil decide to team up in order to get their fair share. Now all three of these countries, North America, Colombia, and Brazil, have something in common, which is despising Venezuela. So yeah, they're gonna get really slapped around here. So with the South Americans coming in from the south and the North Americans coming in from the north, that's ironic, they eventually meet up and split Venezuela into two. We then see Guyana join in on the side of the green team because they have a big dispute with Venezuela, and they said, you know what, screw you, we're gonna team with these guys. I'm not too sure about the military capabilities of Guyana, but I'm sure they'd be able to do good against a crumbling Venezuela. All of western Venezuela eventually capitulates to North America and Colombia. Following this, we have a pretty swift campaign into the rest of the country. We eventually see a pretty large rebel group pop up in central Venezuela, which is the opposing government. This government is also supported by the United States, so they don't really invade it. And Colombia and Brazil both see this as a potential ally. So from here, Colombia just kind of falls apart and only militia groups remain. And just like that, Venezuela is dead. So let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. All right, looking at this peace treaty here, every country is essentially given what they invaded in the war. So this was Colombia's front line in the war, and they got all of that. And this was Brazil's, they got all of that. A little bit of stuff changed on here, considering Colombia's really weird panhandle right here. I did decide to give them a little bit of Brazil's land just to sort that out. Going back up north though, Guyana did not get all of its claims simply because it's a smaller power and didn't contribute too much to the war, but also because Venezuela has a new government now and kind of needs some land. As you can see by the North American claim here, they only got a little bit out of Venezuela, and they'll most likely reduce this down to just this island in the coming years. But yeah, Venezuela receives a new government, which is very pro-North American. Is it a puppet state? No, but it essentially is. And yeah, so what does North America do now if they want to continue expanding? The problem with South America is that Colombia is an ally, Venezuela is now an ally, Guyana is in terms an ally, and then of course Brazil is an ally. So North America decides that it's time for reverse colonialism. that doesn't exist, so I guess it's just time for colonialism. Iceland is looking mad takeable right now. Taking into account that Iceland does not have a military, North America sees this as a prime opportunity to get some free land. Now, NATO, the EU, the UN, all those great old alliances, they don't exist in this universe because I said so. They did exist, and this video would be incredibly dull, and you know, North America would be just limited to South America. But like I said, for now, North America can't invade down there, so they're gonna have to jump the pond. And unfortunately for Iceland, they have to exist in a universe just like this. So yeah, landings are made, and it pretty much just dies after all of the populated areas are taken. And in a very thankful chain of events, we have Iceland being renamed to Greenland, and Greenland being renamed to Iceland. Thank you, North America. This continent country is looking very cool, but they want more. So now they decided it's time to go after Africa, because it wouldn't be an imperial video without Africa being colonized by somebody. Now this would be in opposition to a lot of people in the world, such as the UN, but luckily they don't exist, so everybody can kind of just do whatever they want. Fortunately for Mauritania, they're target, and not just Mauritania, pretty much everyone over here is. These areas are pretty poor, they don't really have that big of a military, and it's just, you know, it's hunting season for North America. So they make a landing along the Mauritanian coast, and oh, there they go. In addition to this, the United States speaks up and says, hey, Morocco is our ally. So Morocco is given full control of all of Western Sahara, which they already pretty much have like 70% of it. So that claim is settled now that Mauritania does not exist. But anyway, someone just got colonized, which is no fun. From here, North America starts a campaign to take out pretty much all of these West African countries. Simply because it's free land. It's not free, it's going to cost blood, but they don't care. Troops in Mauritania now push down into Senegal and then the Gambia. We have them inching down into Guinea-Bissau. Senegal eventually capitulates. From here, Guinea is the next target until they get to Sierra Leone, and then finally they enter into Liberia. Sierra Leone capitulates, which then leads to Liberia capitulating. That was a pretty quick campaign, but you know, war crimes. But no one is there to hold them accountable. I'm not thinking of it, like if the UN doesn't exist, who's there to enforce the Geneva Convention? Not like they would even enforce it in the first place. But wouldn't this technically mean that war crimes are no longer war crimes? I mean, I'm talking like shotguns, cluster ammunition, poisonous gas. Who's going to stop these countries from using those things? Especially North America, considering it's the most powerful country in the world. But hey, that's a question for another day. North America is now not just North American, it's also European, and then as well as African, which is very good for North America, horrible for everyone else. Now North America decides that it's time to go elsewhere other than, you know, the old world. The old world is old, we need some new stuff. So they refocus down into South America, where they realize that their friends aren't really friends. Nobody said that except for North America. You know, Colombia still sees them as a good friend, but North America is trying to find an excuse to overthrow Colombia. North America decides that it's time to fund some rebels in Colombia. I think maybe the United States might be running this show, but I couldn't be for sure. But anyway, two large rebel groups pop up, one which is just separatist Colombian, and then another which is pro-Venezuelan. Colombia doesn't think much of it until these rebels start kicking butt. I'm talking taking cities and taking names. Colombia then starts to question who is funding these guys and giving them all this crazy equipment, until they see one of them flying the North American flag, in which Colombia says, oh. In addition to this, we also have North America sending in some peacekeeping forces. These guys don't do much peacekeeping and start to kill people. Colombia decides it's time to shrug their shoulders and give up hope, and Colombia is left divided in three. To add even more confusion to this scenario, we have Venezuela declaring war on the Venezuelan rebels, and then followed by this, we have North America doing the same thing and declaring war on their funded rebels. These guys fold pretty quickly, and then separatist Colombia is, well, they die. So now let's look at this peace treaty. Taking a look at this horrible mess, we have Venezuela getting some of their land back, plus a little bit more, and then we have North America being North America and taking some of South America. With this, North America now has land in every continent except for Oceania and Asia. I mean, they probably have a claim over Antarctica, but you know, those claims technically aren't even valid. Remember how I mentioned this would go back to Venezuela eventually? Well, that's not going to happen. Instead, Venezuela is forced into giving this gap of land over to North America in exchange for, well, existence. So now North America has a nice connected bit up here, and I solely did not just do that because it looked bad. No promise though. Now we move on to their final act in taking over the world. I mean, liberating countries. Ecuador. Now poor old Ecuador here, who is probably one of the most neutral countries in South America, correct me if I'm wrong, is now getting invaded by a North American power. Except that North American power is just North America itself. Ecuador really just kind of lets it happen. I mean, the military is fighting back, but to really no avail. And there goes Ecuador. And just like that, the North American Empire is complete. Now I know the point of these videos isn't necessarily to make an empire, but since that's kind of the gist of my channel, we're going to be doing that anyway. So boom, there we are. All of North America under one country, plus South America, Europe, and Africa. This is going to wrap it up for this video here. No, I'm just going to be completely honest for you. I'm not in the mood for recording right now. I don't know. You can probably tell which videos are and which are not, and I do apologize for recording this anyway, but for the past week or so, I've been doing recording and editing all in one day, and that's, added a lot of stress and stuff. So, I want to get this done on Monday night, which is when I'm recording this right now, and then have to edit it on Tuesday and then post it on Wednesday. That's my normal schedule. I want to get back into that, so I kind of forced myself into recording for tonight. So I do apologize for the lack of etiquette. But anyway, if you guys did end up enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Anyway, I do want to talk about something real quick. So I'm recording this on July 25th, and I recently had a post go up which was scheduled to release 1 year in the future. I scheduled that post back on July 25th of 2021, and I made it go up today on July 25th, 2022. It's basically just kind of like a time capsule. I think I said something like, I'm scheduling this post 1 year before you see it. I hope I'm still doing YouTube, followed by, at this point in time, I have 5.6 thousand subscribers. Well, right now we have 62.4 thousand subscribers. That's quite a big jump. We've managed to do 12 times that. So I don't know, if I told myself that a year ago, I'd be like, that's funny. But here we are sitting at 62,000 subscribers. And honestly, I have nothing to really say other than thank you. I know I say thank you a lot, but I just make it known that I am thankful for everything that I've been given, and for all the opportunity, and of course all of the growth and support. 100K is in the near future. I'm running numbers, and I think it's definitely possible that we can hit it by the end of this year. Statistically, yes, it's possible. Probability wise, we're probably going to hit it. The only reason why I think that it might not happen is because of myself. I don't have a lot of hope or faith in anything, so yeah, that's probably why. But anyway, once again, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. That'll help us reach that 100K goal. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.